Hey everyone, today I've got some pretty deep questions for you guys. And it's something I've been kind of somewhat pondering. And I thought, why not bring it into our little community here? So here goes. Are you guys genuinely happy with your life? And that's a serious question. I really want to know, are you guys happy? I mean, think about it. Your job, your school, your daily routine. Does all of this make you feel alive? Or are you just going through the motions like a hamster on a hamster wheel? Sometimes we get caught up doing things we're not passionate about just to keep things comfortable or ourselves or our families comfortable. But is that enough for you? Are you just trying to keep up? These are the questions that I have. And let's talk about money. Is it bringing you the happiness you expected? Owning a home, affording those dream vacations, or you just being able to provide your family without stretching every single dollar? Are these aspects of the American dream still relevant to you, or has the dream evolved? This is the question. Has the American dream evolved into something else? Because I think it's different. I think the American dream is a little different. You see, I see folks who seem truly content, living life to its fullest, traveling, exploring. Then there's another group tirelessly working towards that moment of happiness, trying to live life similar to those they admire. Do you find yourself comparing your life to others, wondering how they manage to live seemingly perfect lives? You know, they say comparison is the thief of joy. And I believe that. I believe that comparison is 100% absolutely the thief of joy. And let's not skip the personal stuff. How are your relationships holding up? Raising the kids, maintaining values, protecting their innocence in a world that's constantly changing. What's your strategy for nurturing happiness within your family? I feel like there's got to be some type of strategy as you approach all of this. How are you guiding your family? How are you keeping your family on the same page? Especially between man and woman. Hey, sometimes as men, we're relatively simple. Sometimes we can be complicated, but for the most part, sometimes as men, we're relatively simple. How do you keep a lid on your wants in life? Do you think that it's possible to just want and want and want to no end? Is the balance of life, is it thrown off? I'm asking these questions because I'm curious. Is the balance of life, is it thrown off? So recently I had a conversation with a friend of mine who had moved from Egypt, maybe between 15 and 18 years ago. He moved from Egypt to America. He was in search of a better life. Despite the promise of prosperity, he found himself overwhelmed by the grind. Fast forward to today, and probably about 10 years ago, he found himself moving back to Egypt, basically in search of a simpler life. Because the life here in America, he said he found himself on this hamster wheel, tirelessly going to work, coming back home, just to spend a day or two with his family, and then going back to work, waking up at 5 a.m., coming back at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening after his kids were getting ready for bed, sometimes spending dinner with them, sometimes not. Sometimes sleeping in a hotel, sometimes not. He moved back to Egypt, accepting a simpler life, but finding peace and contentment away from the relentless pursuit of material success. And I don't know, is it something about the United States that just makes us want more than we could potentially afford? We see someone else with it, and then we think that we want to have that too. And I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you think that you couldn't achieve everything that your next door neighbor has been able to achieve? I feel like by design, we're kind of building this model of competition, but then everybody says they're not competing with each other, right? So this brings me to wonder, is our ambition getting in the way of our happiness? Are we chasing dreams that don't actually align with what makes us truly happy? Maybe it's not about living more, but appreciating what we do have. These are my questions. These are my thoughts. These are things I'm thinking about, right? Because I found myself in those places at different points in times in my life. I mean, I think the things that I want them because I want them. But sometimes it's hard to tell. In a world where success is often measured by wealth and achievements, how are we balancing our lives? Are we taking care of our health, spending enough time with our loved ones? Or are we just so caught up in the hustle? Because it's real easy to get caught up in the grind. It's real easy to get caught up in the hustle, going from point A to point B. And once you get started, how do you slow down? How do you find time to really balance that all? Those are the questions I'm asking you guys. How do you find time to get back to square one, to get back to zero? So, I'm not claiming to have all the answers. Heck, I'm right here with you guys trying to figure it all out, but I do want to hear from you. How are you finding happiness in your life? Has spirituality played a role in your journey? And what if we couldn't chase those extravagant experiences anymore? Would we still find joy in the simplicities of life? Those are my questions. Will we still find joy in the simplicities of life? Remember, it's okay to ask these questions. It's okay to seek a life that truly makes us happy, even if it doesn't look like everyone else's life. Even if it doesn't look like everyone else's highlight reel. I mean, there's a big part of me that wants to move to a state like Montana, buy myself 10, 15 acres, get myself a horse, and ride out into the sunset, get away from the city lights, get away from all the noise, and just, go out there and work, go out there and create, go out there and do what I want to do. But that's always hard to do, right? So do me a favor. Drop your thoughts down below. Let's get real with each other. It's through sharing that maybe we can find some answers together. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I can't really wait to hear your stories. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to open the floor to you guys. This is your space as much as it is mine. Let's share our struggles, our wins, and everything in between. I want to know, how are you navigating life, business, real estate? What keeps you up at night and what gets you out of bed in the morning? These are questions I have, and I'm sure a lot of these are questions some of you guys have. The Get Busy podcast is all about building community where honesty and vulnerability and support are the cornerstones. Drop your stories, your questions, and your insights in the comments. Let's strengthen our community, our mentalities, our hearts, our spirituality, our finances, our families together. I really believe that. I think that we should do this together because I don't think we're meant to do it by ourselves. We could all learn from each other one way or the other, right? I think there's this mentality, they call it the abundance mentality. I can share with you what I'm doing. You can share with me what you're doing. And through your experience and your knowledge and your skills, you can help build me up, and vice versa. Through my experience, my knowledge, and my skills, I can help build you up, right? There's no reason why we all have to be out here struggling. Remember, it's okay not to have all the answers. What's important is that we're asking the questions and seeking those answers together. So let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, let's get busy building the community that we all love. Peace. I think we did it.